Sitting down to do this video right now and putting on my stage makeup, it's honestly like my brain can't like comprehend the fact that we have been in this pandemic for almost a year now. That is crazy to me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Goldie and this is the Lazy Ballerina Club. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my stage makeup tutorial with you guys. Obviously, I have no performances coming up anytime soon, but I just feel like the only way I can actually get into like the holiday season and the holiday spirit is if I'm performing Nutcracker. And since COVID has ruined all our lives and there's no Nutcracker this season, I just felt like throwing on my stage makeup and pretending like I'm getting ready for a show would be enough to get me into the holiday spirit. I just want to say right up front that I am not a beauty guru in the slightest. I really have just learned how to do my stage makeup over time from watching the older girls in the dressing room and kind of picking up tips and tricks along the way. So I am no expert. This is just what I do, and hopefully I can inspire you or show you what I do, so when it is time to do our stage makeup again, you got a little inspo from this video. So even though I know I look gorgeous right now with this pimple on my chin, let's just go straight into this tutorial. I'm obviously in a robe because I'm just pretending like I'm backstage in my dressing room, even though I'm in my bedroom on a Sunday putting on a full face of makeup. First thing that I do before I start putting my foundation on is I use this primer, but honestly I'm not even sure if primers actually do anything, but for some reason it just like feels good on my skin. And usually when I'm doing my stage makeup, I'm running straight from ballet class, so I'm like red and sweaty, and this kind of just like feels good on my skin before I start like pounding my foundation on. So I'm using the Becca First Light Priming Filter. I don't know if it does anything, but it smells good, feels good, and that is enough for me. The next thing I do after my primer is I grab my foundation and I take my beauty blender and put it all over my face. Today I'm using the It Cosmetics CC Cream. It's full coverage, has SPF, and the reason why I like this is that it's super buildable, so it doesn't feel like you have this like heavy foundation on your skin. It's light and you can build wherever you need that extra coverage without feeling like your skin is gonna die under the stage lights. I just put it on my beauty blender. Since I am doing stage makeup today, it obviously is going to be heavier than my normal makeup, so usually I just use like a little bit of this foundation on my beauty blender, but today we are going in on this foundation. So I kind of just put a bunch of dots and start working my way around the face. This is honestly the first year I'm not performing in a Nutcracker in 8 years. It really doesn't feel like it's Christmas time or like the holiday time until I'm in the theater doing Nutcracker. So obviously this year has been a little different. But when I do my foundation, especially for stage, I make sure to cover my ears and my neck because our hair is gonna be in a bun. And you're gonna see all of this. There's nothing worse than like having like that really harsh foundation line from your face to your neck on stage because no one wants that. Now that my foundation is pretty much done, I am gonna go in with concealer, and I am using the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Concealer. I love this concealer, and a little bit goes a really, really long way. And it's waterproof, that I didn't even realize until looking at it right now. I have really bad under eye, like dark circles, so I always am looking for a full coverage concealer that doesn't disappear as soon as I start to sweat. And I really feel like this one does the job. So I just take a little bit on my finger and put it right where I want it to be. Then I go in with my beauty blender and blend it out. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but my most favorite memories of my Nutcracker times or Nutcracker shows were always the moments in the dressing room or backstage right before we went on stage. Those are the moments that are just like the best. Like, nothing is more fun than being in your dressing room with the music blasting and Christmas lights all over the mirrors. And even though we're like all exhausted and the last thing we want to do is do another Nutcracker show, like we're still so happy to be there. I know some companies are still trying to do a Nutcracker this year, or like do like a digital season. Leave a comment down below if your studio is still trying to do shows or what you guys are doing, whether it's like filming or like outdoor performances. When I was younger, I was a soldier. I think I have pictures of when I was a soldier. I'll like pop them up right here to see little baby me as a soldier in the Nutcracker. And then when I got into my like professional like school, then that was like my first time like being in a company rehearsal with an artistic director, rehearsing with the company dancers. I remember being so intimidated, especially when it comes to Nutcracker, because the women or the dancers in the company have done Nutcracker every single season since joining, and the Nutcracker never changes. It's always the same choreography, and it's really, really intimidating for new dancers to come into a school or a company and try to like play catch up and learn the choreography and get thrown into the rehearsals with the company dancers, because they've been doing it for years and years and you are already behind on the first day of rehearsal. If you are like a second company member or trainee in a company environment and you're like stressed beyond belief about Nutcracker, or like going into shows or covering company members or whatever it may be for you, try to shift your focus into like this amazing opportunity to dance, because that's probably like the most you will dance on stage the entire season. If you're able to get out of your head and enjoy your Nutcracker shows, I think it could do like amazing things. If you're trying to get promoted in the company you're at or get that first contract if you're a trainee, I feel like Nutcracker is like very valuable. Now that I have done my concealer and foundations for like an hour, it is time to set those places where I just put the concealer with my translucent powder. This is just a mini version, but this is the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and this is the only powder I use. This is the only powder that really locks everything in without changing any of the color on your face. This is like a ride or die product for me. I've been using it all my life. So I take this powder and I use this like little, it has like toe tape on the back of it, this old brush, and set my concealer into place. Now I look like an egg. Now that I look like a dead person, it is time to bring some color back into my face. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in Saddle. It has no shimmer in it. It's just like a matte bronzer. And I go in with this nice fluffy brush. I think, especially with your makeup, you always want to go in lighter, like with a really, really light touch, because you can always build on that color, but it's very hard if you put way too much on the brush and kind of work backwards. I kind of do it in like a 3. I put like bronzer here, here, and here to bring back that jawline and chisel out my face. If you haven't watched my video about me leaving my ballet company, I think it was like the first video that I ever posted on this channel, but if you haven't watched that video, I talk about leaving my ballet company, and I actually left right after Nutcracker. I finished my Nutcracker shows with my company and then I left. But the plan was never for me to stop dancing. I jumped straight into company auditions and I was driving to New York every single weekend to get another contract. And then obviously the world shut down, COVID happened, and everything stopped. It's just crazy that I have not been on stage or getting ready for a show since last Nutcracker. And that's just like crazy to me. Now that I've done my bronzer, I like to go in and do my eyes. I usually take this fluffy brush. This is just from Sephora, and I actually take my bronzer that I was just using and kind of use it to coat my eyes as a base. So I'm really not too precise when I'm doing this at all. And usually when I'm doing my stage makeup, I do it in like 30 minutes, running from ballet class like to warm up for the show, and then it's already my half-hour call. I have to throw my makeup on, do my hair, get into costume, and I'm usually like at the top of the show. So I've really gotten this down to a science, but it's kind of nice to like enjoy the process right now. I'm gonna go in with this Maybelline palette. I usually like to use high-end makeup for my stage makeup only because I'm putting on so much of it and then sweating and being under those harsh lights that I don't want my skin to like go crazy. So I think it's definitely worth it to splurge on those like higher quality makeup items. Honestly, these drugstore makeup products are stepping their game up if I could ever get it open. How pretty that is. This looks like legit. Now I'm taking this other little fluffy brush and kind of like going in on the crease with this darker color. Okay, I don't want to look like I have a black eye because that is not the look that we're going for. Okay, I don't love that, if I'm being honest. Okay, I actually hate that. So that's good. So I'm gonna go back with the bigger, fluffier brush and blend that out. I am gonna go in with this shimmery shade, like these two, and just take my finger and like put it on my lid to give my eyelids some shimmer. Oh yeah. Now for the scary part. We are going to do our lashes. But before we do our lashes, I am going to kind of like line my eyes. But for years and years, I did like the basic like liquid black eyeliner, but I kind of didn't like the way it looked anymore. I felt like it was too harsh on my eyes. So what I do is I go in with this like angled brush. I don't know if you can see it. Kind of dip it in the darker eyeshadow and use it as my eyeliner, so it's a much softer look on my eyes. I think there's something beautiful about that like softness. And we're gonna be throwing on lashes anyways, so it really doesn't matter that much. Very subtle. Before I put my lashes on, I kind of like to go in and kind of like prime my eyelashes so the eyelashes like sit nicely on my natural lash. So I just go in with my mascara, and this is the Voluminous mascara by L'Oreal, and this is another like ride or die. Like, this is my mascara that I always use from CVS. I just do like a really light coat. Now the moment you've all been waiting for, and it's time to throw on some lashes. I feel like lashes are like hit or miss. They either go on like perfectly or you look like you have like a lazy eye. But today I am gonna be using these lashes. They're the Ardell Professional Wispies, and I love a good dramatic lash. I never thought of myself as like a superstitious person. Like, I know some girls like have to tie their ribbons a certain way before a show, or like have to pray before they get on stage, but I've never really been like this. But if my lashes go on perfectly when I'm doing my makeup, I know that the show is gonna be good. And if I have to put my lashes on a few times before the show, God help me. Oh, I'm nervous. I cannot talk while I do this. It's too stressful. Okay, that was pretty successful. As soon as I put my lashes on, it is game time. I immediately feel like it's a show. I feel prepared. I feel beautiful. And I'm honestly getting emotional because it's been an entire year since I have done this. Okay, that's like pretty perfect. If only I actually had a show to do and I wasn't gonna go sit on my couch after I'm done filming this. I think I killed it. Oh. Okay, why am I getting emotional? Now that I have my lashes on, and even like the smell of the lash glue, it just like brings me back to sitting in the dressing room. R.I.P. I actually go in and do my lipstick before I put my blush and my highlighter on. This is Smashbox the Legendary lipstick. I don't know, it's a red lip. I have to make sure I have nothing on my teeth. For highlighter, I just have this like mini Becca highlighter, and it's just that like classic champagne color. I really don't think you can overdo it when you're doing the highlighter, especially for stage makeup, because it is so beautiful when those lights like catch your face. And like I said, I'm gonna say it again so people aren't thinking that I'm like walking down the street like this. This is my stage makeup. I would never walk out of the house, but honestly, like I'm kind of like into it. Maybe because it's like been a bit since I've had stage makeup on, but I think I kind of look bored. And there you have it. Here is my go-to stage makeup that I usually do for every one of my shows, but specifically Nutcracker. And I hope that this tutorial inspires you to go play with your makeup, whether you have shows that you're prepping for or you're just sitting in your bedroom in quarantine like I am. And obviously I would be putting my hair up in a bun and rushing to go get my costumes at this point, but the reality is I am just sitting in my bedroom in my robe, playing with my makeup, hoping that I'll be back on stage soon. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below if you are performing a Nutcracker or your studio is doing a virtual Nutcracker. Let me know, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.